Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be watching and reacting to 10 reasons why the UK is the best country in the world. I've always said if I were to live outside of the United States, I would live somewhere in the UK, hands down. I hope you would know that by now. If you have seen some of my previous videos, definitely love the UK. Let's hear about these 10 reasons why the UK is the best country in the world.
Just in case you didn't know, the United Kingdom is a sovereign country. It is a nation within its own government and has a seat at the United Nations. Its full name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Yes.
Great Britain is the larger island that contains Scotland, England and Wales, and then the United Kingdom contains Northern Ireland too.
Real quick here, this was my first video that I ever did on the channel, talking about the difference between the United Kingdom, England, Great Britain, and a few other layers that I just never even knew about. Yeah, good memories.
Northern Ireland too. Hey guys, Sam here from the Geography Bible. I hope you are having a fantastic week wherever in the world you may be. In this video, we will give you 10 reasons why we think the UK as a whole is the greatest nation or nations in the world. Now, of course, just like any other country in the world, the nations that make up the UK are not perfect and they have plenty of issues of their own. And Britain has a very turbulent past. Throughout this video, we will try to stay out of politics and keep it quite light-hearted. So let's kick off this video with number 10, the accent and language. Although most of the world thinks that the British people all sound like the Queen or news reporters, this couldn't be any further from the truth. Yes, there are many people who speak the Queen's English, also known as received pronunciation. However, with so much history and different regions across the UK, you will find many different accents and dialect. From Scouse in Liverpool to Geordie in Newcastle to Glaswegian in Glasgow, every accent sounds completely different from one another. You can literally drive 30 to 60 minutes away from where you live and you will find someone with a completely different accent to your own. The UK is also extremely multicultural, so you will find many different international accents across the country too. Number 9, it's breathtaking scenery. The UK is home to some of the most beautiful scenery in Europe, if not the world, especially in Scotland. The first thing people think of when they think of the UK is probably London, a huge urban concrete jungle. However, if you adventure outside of the capital, you'll find some absolutely stunning countryside. The UK also has incredible beaches too, from the tropical setting in St Ives in the Scilly Islands to the pristine white sand you will find in the northwest of Scotland. The isles off the Scottish Highlands, such as the Isle of Skye, offer some of the most breathtaking views you will ever see. Number 8, it has different.
So far, for number 10, the accent's completely true. The inspiration for the channel that I do, this channel, came from two British folk that I really enjoyed, and it was more of their view about the US. And both of those individuals had massively different accents. I think one was definitely on the northern side, and just traveling around there, so many different accents in my opinion, such a small area. I feel like here in the US, very large country, but I mean, I know there's a lot of accents, but it seems like there are 4 or 5 main accents compared to in the UK. Like he said, I think you could all attest to this. You could drive 30 minutes and the accents will be tweaked a little different or a lot different. Let me know if that's the case.
Different countries. The UK comprises of 4 different nations, each with their own culture, history, and dialects.
Oh yeah.
And although they claim to hate each other, I think this is generally a myth which is exaggerated on social media. I've met so many incredible and friendly people from Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland who are very similar to me, but with just a different accent.
Thoughts on that? Me just reading comments all the time, I definitely get a taste for how it is.
Each country is rather similar. They usually have 1 or 2 large main cities, then plenty of smaller, charming towns and villages with beautiful countryside in between. Number 7, it has London, often regarded as being one of the greatest cities in the world. Love it or hate it, you have to admit London is one of the most important and influential cities of all time. People from all corners of the planet come to the UK to visit, to live, or to study in London. Yes, it is busy and it's expensive, but it offers some of the most desirable jobs in the world, and there is so much to do. You'll also find some of the world's most followed sports stadiums in London too. Number 6, safety, climate, and the wildlife. The figures from the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, which ranks each member on many criteria, including safety, place the UK 11th out of 38 nations for safety. Just behind Canada, but ahead of Ireland and way ahead of the US, who are in 22nd place. They have the data to back this up too. In 2016, the UK recorded a lower homicide rate than Japan. Perhaps it's no wonder that 77% of Brits feel safe walking home at night alone.
That's incredible. I want to know how you feel, because when I walk around, we are out from early morning, when we were in London, early morning into like late at night. We wanted to soak in as much as possible. And I never didn't feel safe. It always felt safe to me. And even in London, and typically I would say cities are the most dangerous places in countries. And I felt very safe there. And the fact that London, I think it was just specifically London or the UK, regardless, has had less homicides than Japan is mind-blowing to me, because I always think of Japan, and I think Japan is really well known for having a very low rate.
Although we love to moan about the weather in the UK, we are very lucky that we don't experience extreme weather or natural disasters, such as droughts, tsunamis, volcanoes, or bushfires. There are very occasional mini tornadoes and
he just did everything that happens here in California.
Very small earthquakes, but they are barely powerful enough to knock over a garden gnome. The UK is also home to next to no deadly animals such as bears, snakes, or spiders. So if you are on an adventure in the countryside, this is another thing you don't have to worry about. Number 5, the NHS, or the National Health Service. The NHS leads the world in terms of equity of access and ensuring people don't suffer financial hardship when they are ill. It also performs well in managing long-term conditions like diabetes and kidney disease, and is relatively efficient compared to other health systems around the world. The NHS usually ranks in the top 10 or 15 in the world for the best healthcare systems. Not too shabby.
Incredible.
Number 4, the higher education system. The World Universities listing estimates there are over 26,000 universities worldwide. Now, out of all of those, you could probably count on one hand the number that are global household names.
Yep.
2 of them happen to be in Britain. Yep, Oxford and Cambridge. They are still the creme of the crop as far as higher education is concerned. And you've also got Durham too. And the reason for their renown isn't just historical. Across the whole of Britain, the higher education system consistently delivers some of the best results on the planet.
Being here in the US, say a friend or a colleague, if you knew someone that went to Cambridge or Oxford, that would be mind-blowing to us. I personally don't think I know anyone that has attended either university. But here in the US, we really look very highly upon those 2 universities. If you asked people here in the US, name some top tier universities, the best universities in the world that you could think of, they would say Cambridge and Oxford, or at least one of those, hands down. I would like to know what Cambridge and Oxford acceptance rates are. How low is it?
Students travel from all corners of the planet to study in the UK. In doing so, they will also get to experience UK nightlife and the quality of life and safety that comes with it. Number 3, castles and ruins. The UK is old as hell, therefore it has many ancient ruins, castles and structures to be discovered far and wide.
I have a picture of this in my house. It's just framed my whole life. They have beautiful, beautiful history and structures and castles. This place is amazing, whose name I am forgetting.
In England alone, there are said to be around 4,000 castles. So if you're from a relatively new country like Australia, New Zealand, or Canada, or even America, then you may have never seen a castle or ancient building before. So coming to the UK provides an authentic historical viewing. Number 2, discovering countries and the Commonwealth. Britain created countries such as Australia, Singapore, and the USA, in which, in the short space of around 300 years, have become world leaders in so many aspects. No other country can claim to have created anything close to what Britain has achieved. In doing so, its legacy has continued to evolve. Much of what was once the British Empire continues to be part of the Commonwealth, an alliance of 54 nations across the world with a combined population of over 2 billion, long after the empire has ceased to exist. Number 1. Inventions. The UK invented most of the technology that the modern world runs on. The TV, the computer, and the World Wide Web. And while Marconi was Italian, he developed his wireless radio transmission in the UK. The list of British inventions is endless. The UK also developed most of the world's most popular sports, such as football or soccer, rugby, cricket, tennis, and golf. The UK is a world leader in the arts, particularly literature and theatre, from Shakespeare to Andrew Lloyd Webber, from Chaucer to J.K. Rowling. We've also had a big impact on music, TV, movies, and video games, such as Harry Potter and James Bond. So there we have it. 10 reasons why we think the UK is one of, if not the best country in the world, or countries. Of course, as we mentioned before, it's not perfect. It does have many issues. But as a whole, it is a very safe and friendly country where people from all across the world decide to emigrate.
So that wraps up the video. I would like to hear your thoughts on this because I generally agree. I always reference the technologies and the arts that the British spread throughout the world, and it's an incredible thing to me. But it's not surprising from how large, massively large the Commonwealth remains. And after watching this video, the United Kingdom still remains, hands down, the place that I would move to if I had to leave the US or I wanted to leave the US. I don't know how hard it is to become a citizen there, but hey, you know, maybe someday. So let me know your thoughts on this list, and if you agree, disagree, add on anything you can as to why you love the United Kingdom, being British, so on and so forth. I love to hear it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and have a good rest of your day.